G'day everybody, Jason Foss here from the Capricornia Chamber of Commerce, here with Celeste Cleary from Flourishing Wellness. G'day Celeste, how are you?
Hi Jason, going well.
Just finished our July coffee, sponsored of course by Flourishing Wellness, thank you for that.
Pleasure.
And something that you highlighted this morning is how a lot of people when they become management or take on a leadership role, don't actually have the training required to do that different role. Like they might be good at their craft and they move into a leadership role and there's no training for that. And you actually tell us about an interesting experience you had this morning.
Yes, I did. So recently I worked with a team of a group of supervisors, workshop supervisors at an organisation, and they were good at their job. They were well respected by their crews, but they struggled with holding people accountable and with giving feedback in a way that it would stick and be constructive. So an example is one of the guys said that he had a fellow in his crew who didn't respond well to feedback. If ever he told him about his welding job, he would get very sensitive and take it personally as criticism, and then it would throw him off for the rest of the shift. And this impacted productivity, it affected the relationship, and so when he went through my Courageous Conversations workshop series, he developed a new approach. And by stating his intention for the conversation and just pausing before he jumped in and leading with let's find a shared goal or a shared outcome that we're working towards, that's when things shifted. So the conversation, he said, was more along the lines of, mate, I'm here to support you to do your best work. And I don't reckon that's it. What do you think?
Yeah, that's an interesting approach, isn't it? Yeah.
So it was inviting the guy to respond and think, well, yeah, I do pretty good work, and no, I'm a bit off today. So there was a conversation could come out of that where the guy wasn't feeling threatened. He wasn't feeling like, I'm criticising all the work you do. It's just this one. And what can we do about that together? And so that conversation moved forward. The guy didn't blow up, and they maintained that rapport and worked together towards getting him to keep doing.
I suppose what's happening here is that the leader is helping the worker sort of own their results.
Yes.
And own the output of their work.
Yeah. So you own success as well as
rather than just being told what to do.
Yes, yeah. And it's acceptable to not that it's acceptable to do shoddy work. It's like, well, this isn't your best. I know that you can do better. And so the guy's having recognition. He's receiving recognition that he does generally do good work, but this is the one that we need to put attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
So
okay.
Sort of helps to reframe it and moving together and showing that he's supporting. As he's stating his intention of what I want is for us to work towards you doing your best work.
Yeah. And I suppose when you think about it, that's one skill of many, but, leadership and management. And we see this a lot. People get into business because they're good at their craft, and then they have to move into running a business, managing staff, finance, marketing, all that kind of stuff. It's a very different skill set.
Yes,
and
it is.
often they don't undergo any training for that. So Celeste has, of course, got workshops, and you also do kind of one-on-one with businesses as well. And I know that's a thing. So it's probably well worth having a chat to Celeste about that if you do have to manage people and you feel that that's a weak spot for you. There are ways to do something about it.
Yes, and then we can flex that tool of empathy. Often we feel like we need to push harder, or I've had one person say to me, I just wish I had teeth. You know,
Well,
you know,
one
that's
approach, I
old
suppose.
school. Yeah, it's an old school approach, though, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we push forward and we lose people when we have that approach. And yes, it'll work as long as you're there standing over them and making sure they keep doing it, or you're going to chew on them. But it ultimately won't hold them accountable to own their job.
Yeah, right. And it's so hard to find good staff these days.
Yes.
You've got good people, you want to hang on to them, not kind of, you know, make life miserable so they go somewhere else.
Yes. 100%. And valuing our empathy. So we have empathetic leaders, and when we can manage that empathy and be tactical with it, we can really engage people and we can help to hold them accountable in a compassionate way, but without having to bare the teeth.
Excellent, excellent. All right, thanks, Celeste.
Pleasure, Jason.
Don't forget our next Coffee in Rocky is at the end of August, last Wednesday of August, and there's a different date for the next Wedding Your Pern. And I should have looked this up before I started recording. I'll put it on the screen. We'll see you then. Thanks, Celeste.
Okay.
See you next time.
Jason. Bye.